Good afternoon, everybody. Just a bit of a bit of a Christmas treat for you, if it is a treat. Recapping stuff that everybody else has done and just commenting on it. You know, it's easy. Oh, you know, he's talking about muting your YouTube. I've just.
It's. Oh, have you done it as well?
Yeah.
We did it in synchronized time there. So.
Yeah. So. Yeah, anyway, so, you know, it's funny, you said, oh, why don't we do, like, a look back on the year? And I was like, well, it'll just be Lorne pranks, you know, and his raging and whatnot. And then you put together something, and there's quite a lot. There's so much has happened this year, it's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of moments that have got us very cunning, and a few moments that have got us uncunning.
Yeah, most of it involves Lorne. Well, all of it does to some degree. Well, I mean, he's the reason we're all fucking here, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Just let us know, guys, in the chat. You know what I'm like for technical issues. You'll just let me know if you can hear both myself and my fellow friend who happens to be a predator, Adam.
Well, in some people's opinions, but I'm still have my freedom for now, so. I can't prove anything.
Well, now's not the time you need to prove something. You know,
No,
if you get a knock on the door, then
well, that'd be the court date that I need to prove everything. But
yeah. Then the excuses start. You know, I couldn't say no.
I didn't get any mac and cheese or deviled eggs, and the judge said, "All right, then off you go." Fair enough.
Hi, sir. So yeah, there's I'm trying to get there we go. Just trying to get the chat up on the screen. So you put quite a little bit of effort into this, and I'm quite surprised you've. Usually your projects fall down the wayside. It's like, oh, can't be asked. That sitcom we were gonna do didn't happen.
That amazing idea I had, just too much effort.
You know, writing that great novel? Nah.
Yeah. Did a page. That's enough.
Yeah, that's kind of... we can't really have a go at Lorne for that, because our fucking half-baked ideas never... always remain half-baked, don't they?
Yeah.
Pretty much. What did we have? We had, like, a sitcom, a comedy sketch, a book...
podcast.
Yeah.
Christmas record.
World domination. None of it happened. So what we'll do is we'll just fucking take the piss out of Lorne instead. That'll be our calling.
Yeah. Well, anytime we try to pivot away from anything that's not Lorne, it's like it just always end up being pulled back in.
Yeah. That's the thing with all this. It's like you got to remember I say that all the most popular stuff is Lorne related. The most popular video that I've ever put out in terms of views is the Dustin McFetcher's interview. Part 1, it's not got a lot in YouTube terms. I think it's on like 40,000 views at the minute. But when I had my old channel, it had added like 100,000 views. And that was like 3 years ago. But apart from that, all the regular videos that I do, I mean, not that, you know, many of them aren't Lorne related, but all the Lorne ones, it's just what people can't get enough Lorne. And it's so bizarre because Lorne's so lonely, but yet people can't get enough of him. How does that work?
It's the ever sort of present question that I think everyone asks themselves. This guy's so boring and uninteresting, yet I'm very interested in all the new content about him.
Someone made a comment on the last video, right? And it was like a really long-winded comment that went on for fucking ages. And he was like demeaning the whole community and all of our interest in Lorne. And then I said, right, dude, what the fuck are you doing here as well? I don't know. I find it entertaining. It's great. I'm like, hang on a minute. What the fuck's going on? Yeah, what are you on about? You fucking idiot.
Well, I think sometimes we do morally conflict with ourselves, and sadly that sometimes spills out onto the page. But maybe, you know, when you're in a community like this and you're having a moral conflict as to why you're in that community, best to just keep it to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking... I mean, it's a bizarre thing because we've spoke about, like, we did a stream about a year ago, me, Tiffany Shin, and Amanda James, about the catfishing and whether we agree with it or not. And it was like 3 hours long, and we really delved into it. And certain aspects of it don't seem right to me. But yet, when I listen to the calls, especially the new ones, I can't help but be entertained. So I'm like, hang on a minute. If I was so against it, wouldn't I like be so appalled that I wouldn't find it entertaining? So I'm like confused about my own kind of intrigue and motivations. It's like, why do I find it entertainment? I'm listening to this guy being kind of just run around and lied to and, manipulated. But it's like, I can't stop listening.
And I've learned anything this year, he's not deserving of any kind of sympathy or understanding.
That's the general consensus. Most people would. That's the way most people would think about it, because it's like, especially the further along you go with how more it's obvious that he's getting fucked with. It's like, what is bizarre about the latest Blue Boy, what causes? She's almost, or he or she, however you want to refer to the catfish, I'll refer to her as she, and use those pronouns, let's not go there. She's telling him what's going on. It's like, spelling it all out to him. It's like, listen, you idiot, all of that was bullshit. He's like, yeah, but I know you're fucking real. It's like, oh, God, dude. Yeah, because the other cases were false, but this case is the real one. Like, the sort of a lack of,
awareness.
The lack of kind of logical thinking there. Well, there is no logical thinking there. It's completely absent.
But he's incapable of learning. It is perhaps in certain aspects of his life, he does learn eventually. But I think in regards to romance and sex, he's just in a constant state of arrested development, and he'll never learn or understand or improve himself. And that's what makes him interesting, because he's like, you look at him and everything about him screams he's a fucking retard, but he's not. So how is he still how has he not won a Darwin Award or walked off a cliff or something? I just don't understand how a man with so little capacity, who's 10 years older than me, maybe a bit more, and yet still has so little understanding of how to treat other people or how to have a relationship or not to get fucking catfished for 10 years straight. And to actually be on the phone with the current catfish going, oh, well, you're definitely not a catfish, even though the last 6 fucking girlfriends I've had all turned out to be men.
A man with a robot voice changer, which is it doesn't get any funnier than that. That's, anyway, we're just going off on that without sticking to your timeline.
Well, we're going to have a lot to talk about in the second half of the year, so because we're only doing the first half tonight, aren't we? So there's a lot more to talk about when we get to the second half, because we'll be covering a lot more of what's happened in this end of the year.
Well, just looking at what you've sent me, there's probably too much to get through, so I've got like a cut-off point of another hour and 20 minutes, so we'll see how far we get.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, the first thing that you've kind of mentioned is something that I'm not aware of, which I probably should have listened to before we started, but it's kind of a reveal. You can kind of explain it to me. Raptor Bacon calls Lorne briefly as a man called Derek, and then Xavier.
Yeah, it was just real brief. And I think it was like the last of the calls before sort of Hillborn and Blue Boy started uploading their stuff. And he calls him just as a man's voice and pretends that his name's Derek and he works for like a water company or something. And then Lorne just hangs up. And then he calls back and pretends he's Xavier. But it's literally like 2 minutes long. And then Lorne hangs up, and that's about it. But I did think what was quite curious about that is that's going to have fed into his Xavier obsession a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't... well, I do know where all that's come from. It's come from Ember, but I can't believe he's kind of kept it going. I think people have kind of fed him. People have fed that illusion to keep it alive, haven't they? Just sprinkled little bits of shit. I've heard it a couple of times from from Blue Boy. So when Lorne mentioned it, he's not like shutting him down, and you kind of wouldn't, would you? Because even though, well, it's kind of the sinister nature taking over, isn't? Is it taking over in us when we listen to
Lorne to have this Oz behind the curtains?
It does,
because like if you've got someone who's got it in for you, he can go, oh, the reason that I had horrible stuff on my computer is because of this guy that set me up, and it's just handy to have a scapegoat for him. I think to an extent he probably is aware that Xavier doesn't really exist on the level he thinks he does anyway.
He's created all these like convenient get-outs that are so... He doesn't care that how ridiculous they are, or he doesn't know. So you've got like the fact that he can't say no, so he's too good. The fact that he's too good to people has resulted in him trying to abuse children, which is just fantastic.
It's
so
like that first line in the psyche eval, isn't it? What have you learned in your class? I've learned that I'm a good person.
That's what he's achieved in 5 years of rape class. Yeah. Hello, guys, and today the first lesson of rape class after we've done our induction is how I'm a good person, or I'm going to like this bit.
Yeah.
Lorne got an A-star in being a good person.
Yeah. He learned that he couldn't say no and that he's a good person.
Oh, wow. So he's got that in his favour. He's got the... what's that other load of waffle that he came out with? What's the other one? It was in the latest call that came out yesterday. So there was... Oh, that was it. He was there to look out for her. So he can't say no. He was there to look out for her, and Xavier is the one that's manipulated the whole situation. So those 3 points exonerate him of any wrongdoing.
As the way and we're getting like well off topic because we're talking almost
we're
about current
off topic. We're not on topic at all.
But anyway, I like Xavier. I think he almost believes like was behind the whole thing from before he even started talking to Kayla, because, and I might be spouting bollocks here, but I believed like the CP that they found wasn't that from when his computer was seized.
They didn't find any.
Oh, they didn't?
No, as I understand it, if they'd have found any child pornography, he'd have been stitched up for a lot longer. Stitched up sounds like he was actually stitched up, but he had a plea agreement, didn't he, for attempted child pornography because he took the camera, which is why his charge was more severe. But as I understand it, they didn't find any CP on there.
Right, okay, but he admits to having had it, but that he claims that Xavier has sent it to him.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about this. I think there's a possibility that he kind of made that story up to make himself sound like he was stitched up, to make it appear that, oh, somebody sent me this terrible picture. That means, but he's stupid enough to come up with something like that to make perverted justice sound like there's some kind of evil force, although you're trying to figure out what's going on in his brain. That's why we're here. We never will. It's, it's just fucking...
It's just mush. If you could look inside his brain, it would just be like... Oh,
God,
Just fucking... It'd be like, those like foam kids parks? That's what his brain would be like. You'd just be like a bouncy castle in there. Nothing going on at all.
Do you know what it'd be like? Do you remember that? I'm going to refer to The Simpsons again, guys. Beware. Do you remember that Simpsons where he gets blind drunk and makes a fool of himself at that party that Marge throws?
Is that when he looks down Maud's top?
Yeah, and then like he's remembering it the day after, and then he's like goes into his brain of what really happened. He goes, and then I said I get into a dry martini. I go, oh no, there's a fly in my drink. I put it there as a gag. Oh, hilarious! It's like that's what's going on in his brain, isn't it? Yeah. No, like absolutely no basis in reality at all. Like I can't believe that he's got the audacity to say to who he thinks is Casey Moreau that
Still just
like,
funny
yeah,
in
I was just
itself.
looking out for her. Like, that's why I said to you that I wanted a kiss. This is the girl that was there, you fucking moron.
Yeah,
Ah!
I said I haven't had a kiss yet because I'm such a caring guy.
I was looking out for her.
Yeah.
She was alone in that big house.
She needed a kiss. That 13-year-old girl.
Did you bring condoms? Yes, I did.
He's so happy about it as well, isn't he? Yes, I did. He's definitely there to look after, isn't he? He only cares about protecting those children with condoms.
What's funny in that call, he's like, I don't know how I got turned around. He's like, Blue Boy says, yeah, you got turned around after 5 seconds, and he goes, yeah, that was pretty quick.
Yeah.
5 seconds.
She said hello. Oh shit, I've become a pedo now.
Yeah, I don't know how I got turned around. Hello. But there we go. I'm done. That's the magic word.
Yeah. In fact, he approached her, didn't he? So she replied immediately, went, oh, fuck's sake. I was hoping none of these 13-year-olds were going to reply because the moment they do, I knew this was going to happen.
He's been like hypnotized, so if a girl responds with hi, that's it. He turns into a sex offender. If you hear the words hi on a chat room, you will become a pedo.
Yeah. It's her fault, basically. Her womanly charms. She said hello.
Female powers, there we go. Maybe that's what he meant. We've just figured it out, guys. He was hypnotized into... When he got a positive response from a female, he got turned around. Like he says in that call, I don't know how I got turned around. Anyway, let's carry on, dude.
Yeah, right.
Next bit is this fella makes an appearance on eBay.
Yeah, there should be a picture underneath the full link. Do you see it? I don't know if you'll be able to put it on the screen. Can you see it?
Yeah, lolcows of the internet. Lorne Armstrong custom polymer figure, limited quantity. What the fuck?
Someone in January of this year started making Lorne Armstrong dolls and selling them on email.
On eBay?
On eBay, not email. eBay, yeah.
Let's have a look at the full description. Oh, God, here he is. The handmade custom Lorne Armstrong figure is now available. A collaboration between Phil Bar Toys and the main event Nat 194 has brought to life this embarrassing human being to life. This is a 12-piece limited edition figure. Each figure is signed and numbered. What, by Lorne? Comes with a print. Comes with a print drawn by the man event himself.
Oh, I didn't even read the description. I just saw the Lorne doll and was like, wow, someone's got too much time on their hands. Well, I have as well. So
yeah, well, we're here, aren't we? So all kinds of action features, including saying to your figure, take a seat for good luck. Deny this sad sack's coveted bowl of macaroni. Includes baseball cap and bowl of macaroni, approximately 5 inches tall. And the price is... $34.27. Oh, that's
yeah. Now I would have bought it, but I was like
$52.49.
Yeah, I'm definitely not buying it at that price. I mean, it's funny, but it doesn't look that great. If it had been like $15, I would have bought
it. Does it smell like cigarette smoke? Good friend Shin Squall has said. Yeah, it doesn't come. It doesn't say that on the description, dude. But who knows? Maybe it does.
Guys, if you want to see the picture of the doll, I think you can just Google or look on eBay like Lorne Armstrong doll, or just Google Lorne Armstrong.
Yeah, strangely enough, I can't see many other results coming back for that. I'm pretty sure it'll be the first thing that pops up if the search engine's efficient enough.
If it came with Lamondre, that'd be amazing. But then he'd need to have like a mouth that you could put Lamondre in.
They might come with like an extra where his brother goes dead. In fact, like...
get the full Armstrong family set with mouths.
With kneeling brother.
Yeah. Reenact Lorne's childhood. His favourite Saturday afternoons.
Oh no. Oh, this is just plummeted to the depths of depravity, this stream. Thank you, Adam. Even though I brought it up.
You need to get bendable knees on him as well.
Oh dear. And the good thing about that doll is none of it goes to Lorne because it's got nothing to do with him.
Yeah,
As
exactly.
we understand it, which, you know, maybe.
But yeah, I mean, I did when I first went to look for the original link. It said they'd all sold out, but I found them again. So I don't know if he's actually made another batch or if they've just not sold at all.
Well, people are selling some fucking fucked up shit on eBay. There's like people are farting in jars and selling it. I mean, what's all that about?
Fuck.
No,
I remember when Belle Delphine was selling her bathwater.
I'm just bidding on that now.
Yeah. I thought you already had a couple of jars.
Oh, right. While we're making record pace, let's carry on. A brief Skype call appears on YouTube with Lorne using Skype. It is no longer available, and I haven't seen it, but I believe this is something to do with the upcoming thruple thread.
Yeah, and well, Blue Boy might be able to tell us a bit more about this because apparently I don't know whose channel it was on. I only know about this because it was briefly mentioned on the Temple, and there was like an actual Skype call uploaded to YouTube with Lorne in it, and I think it was like him talking to two people, but I don't really know how that worked. I guess they can't have had their videos on, or they had some kind of deep fake software. So, but having not seen it, I don't know. I know that it happened, though, or at least I think it happened. I'm starting to sound like someone on To Catch a Predator now. I'm like JPW.
Well, you are our closest associate to being on To Catch a Predator. If if Kennedy can be counted as prey.
I was in the movie. Well, I definitely saw the movie.
I fucking loved that line. Do you remember when me and you did that video?
Yeah.
What was it? The funniest TCAP ever or something?
I actually went back to look at that, and someone had left on the comments saying you need to do a series of these, and I was like, actually, we should have done that. We should have gone through and done like in the defense of John Kennelly.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. That we could actually do that for for all the. Right, you heard it here, guys. This is another one of me and Adam's half-baked fucking experiments or projects, whatever you call experiments. Would you like to experiment with me, Adam? Do your Yeah, this is another one of mine and Adam's half-baked projects that probably will never happen, but that sounds like a good idea in the defence of... Well, we've got to start off within the defence of Lorne, haven't we? And then work our way from there.
I thought maybe that would be the last in the series, because obviously we do a lot.
Yeah, because it's only downhill from there, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
We should start off with somebody like quite obscure, you know.
Yeah, Crazy
like,
Trini.
Yeah.
I mean, how the fuck do you defend that guy, though? He turns up naked trying to fuck a cat, doesn't he? So
I could come up with a few ideas.
Yeah, well,
maybe he's like... Maybe he thinks he's a cat himself. Cats don't need clothes. He's just trying to mate with a fellow cat.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, maybe if he identifies as a cat, then it's fine these days.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, who are we to argue with person's biology? You know, you can fucking say what you want these days.
Sorry, Blue Boy, how did that work then? Like, if you got him on a video, I guess you guys just didn't have videos on, or what did he say? Like, did he not question? But anyway, yeah.
Fuck.
So... Of course he didn't question it.
Stupid thing to say.
I've got COVID in my throat. I can't turn my camera on, Lorne. Sorry. But you can talk to this robot man.
I still don't understand what the actual story was behind the robot. I know that she was ill to some degree, but how long was he talking to the robot voice? And wasn't the robot actually filming adult movies at the time? The time that it was supposed to be going on? There's
a few conflicts of storylines because when Jamie Amy was first introduced, she was meant to be like quite a famous, like the gangbang queen of Los Angeles or California or wherever, the anal gangbang queen of California, and it was meant to be like quite, but they like really hated each other. But this was back when he was still with Winnie, I believe, and at that time Jamie Amy was played by, I think it was Wine Lover, and then Wine Lover dipped out and didn't want to do it, and that's when I believe the reason that he needed to talk to a robot was because she'd lost her voice due to COVID, but then it just never came back for like a year or something, so he never questioned it. But that's the best I can tell you about that.
Blue Boys just said, we pretended it must have been an issue on Lorne's end while he couldn't see us on camera. And here's me thinking it'd be some kind of crazy elaborate, like
you might actually need a good reason, but no, it's Lorne, isn't it? Just tell him anything.
It's your fault, Lorne.
Your fault. You're blind. I'm here with my tits out. Come on.
Oh, God.
Oh
My God. What a fucking... I don't know. That's all we're doing with this stream. We're just uncovering more and more how dumb this guy is. It's kind of remarkable. It's gotta be, I was thinking about this, right? I know we're kind of veering away again like we always do, but I think he might be the dumbest person that's ever lived. There doesn't seem...
This is what I mean when I say, like, I just don't understand how he can survive. But I think I don't think, like, I know he's stupid because obviously he came last in his school out of everyone, but he still graduated. But I don't think, like, he can drive a big fucking truck. That's surely not easy. I mean, whether he can drive it well is a different story. He's crashed it a few times, hasn't he? But I think it's literally in the aspects of his life that are, like, when it comes to romance and sex, he's just an absolute, like, fucking retard when it comes to those things. He just doesn't understand how they work.
And the thing is, you can't... It's not really... I'm not trying to get, like, woke or anything, but if somebody's, like, not born with the greatest intellect, you shouldn't, like, try and humiliate them or have a go at them because, you know, not everybody is born with those type of gifts. It doesn't mean that you're less worthy than anybody else.
But there's millions of people out there who aren't particularly intelligent, but they also aren't morally devious fucking cunts.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, so...
And there's different forms of intelligence as well, because, like, you know, just because he finished last in his class doesn't mean that he might potentially not make something of himself. Just because you're academically unintelligent, even though that unintelligent doesn't fucking exist as a word probably, you've got emotional intelligence, you know, intelligence playing a certain sport. You know, like for instance, you hear Wayne Rooney speak sometime. He doesn't sound fucking the sharpest tool in the shed, but no. you know, when he's on a football field, he's like a genius. You know, so there's different forms of intelligence. But this guy, it's like, did you ever have a mate at school that was that dumb? Something compelled you to just take the piss out of him. I still know somebody like that, and I bumped into him. It was me and my friend went out for a few... Well, he had a few drinks. I don't drink anymore. And we bumped into him. And whenever I was young, some evil force took over me that I just had to take the piss out of him relentlessly. And I could feel it coming over me again when I bumped into him. And I think that it's like that with... I don't know, it's like some people are behaving stupid because they kind of want to. Because they're making these decisions to be stupid rather than, you know...
I think when I was a kid, I often played dumb for laughs because I thought I'd get laughs out of it. But, like, when it's time to... But that's different. And I think there's loads of people out there who aren't intelligent, you know. There's people out there who have been born with much worse conditions to live in under much worse circumstances than Lorne, and they haven't tried to fuck a 13-year-old, and I think that's the point here. And he is absolutely stupid, that can't be denied, but I think that's only really when it comes to dealing with other people he's a fucking idiot. But he's a horrible person as well. So you can never feel bad for him. Especially after everything that's happened that I've learned, like after the psyche eval and everything. I'm like, the guy is that stupid that he doesn't even understand why he shouldn't fuck a kid, and that's why he can't get out of his rape class. And the thing is, he's not even intelligent enough to sort of lie his way out of it and go, okay, even like deep down, he knows that he still has those inclinations, but he's not even intelligent enough to hide that fact. He doesn't even see what's wrong with it, and he still doesn't after 5 years. And yeah, but he deserves everything he gets, in my opinion. I will open a bottle of champagne the day he dies.
Wow, this is the thing. I think you rang me up once, Adam, just to tell me that you think Lorne should be put down. I was like, wow, what has he done? Like, it was quite shocking to hear you say that. I mean, it was funny, but it was like, what did he say to make you have such strong feelings?
He's just a lost cause. By this point, we know he can't develop. He's always going to be a danger to society. He's still going round, you know, now approaching women in real life and stuff. He's no point. Every gasp of air he takes, that could be given to a tree or a plant that deserves it much more than he does.
Fucking brilliant. Oh my God. So was there any moment then when you've listened to any of the new calls or any of the old ones where you felt sorry for him at all? Not like felt sorry for his, you know, his predicament with regard to being a sex offender, because you can't, you know, he's done all that. But I mean, felt sorry for him that he's being fucked with.
No. I fucking, like, I was listening, like I told you before the stream, I was listening to an old Ramona the Doctor call earlier, and I was just laughing my head off at just what a stupid idiot he is.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Although the only thing that did wind me up in that call is Ramona keeps telling him he doesn't know the meaning of the word deviant when he actually does. And I think that's maybe why this evening I said he's not as stupid as in everything you think he is. But yeah, because that kind of annoyed me, because he says it twice and Ramona goes, we've established you don't know the meaning of that word. And in both times he's used the word correctly. It's like, no, Ramona, you clearly don't know the meaning of it. But anyway, the rest of it's brilliant.
No, they definitely had some good moments, those. Anyway, should we get back to should we veer back on topic, shall we, dude?
Yes, of course.
So Reborn's channel is deleted and he gives a cryptic message that spells out Lorne knows.
Yeah, well, that's a while back now, but that was big talk of the town. I think everyone thought that we were not going to get any more content, but we were all quite wrong.
I thought someone was calling you a lost cause then, Adam, in the chat. Chloe needs a cocktail said, I'm with Adam, he's a lost cause. It's like, if somebody sat with you, and I'm like, this motherfucker...
Chloe's come round to do a psyche
Chloe's
eval.
come round to take a cocktail from you, and she's giving a psych evaluation.
Yeah. She's taken one look at me and gone, he's a lost cause.
Well, it's a bit harsh, Chloe, but we appreciate your honesty.
But, yeah.
So, Reborn comes back with a new channel, and then Heilborn and uploads the Jeffrey call. So, the Jeffrey call was before the Rod call, I believe?
I did check this when I was doing my research earlier, and Jeffrey was before Rod, yeah. And Jeffrey was a treat in itself. We just didn't know what was to come.
Yeah, because it's kind of a shame that the limelight was taken away from that. I think really, if you think about it, the only reason, not the only reason, but the most important reason why the Rod call is more popular is because of how enraged he gets. It's not the amount of times he gets enraged, or specifically, you know, how funny it is. There's just that one moment that's time-stamped in the comments where he goes, you can never talk to me without texting that motherfucker. It's like nobody can rage that much.
Yeah, I mean, that's pure rage. That was brilliant, but we'll come back to Rod, because I actually wrote down some notes of some of the best parts from the Jeffrey call, because I think because Rod kind of overshadowed it, you forget how many good bits are in the Jeffrey call. Yeah. And even like I was trying to listen to both of them before the stream, and I didn't have a chance, so I had to skim through both Jeffrey and Rod. But even like the beginning of the Jeffrey, like sometimes it's just the way he words things. And like the first quote I wrote here was just when he's written, "Who have you been spending all kinds of time with?" Like, who says that? Oh, you've been spending all kinds of time with him.
How many different kinds of time is there?
Well, there's good times, there's bad times, there's the in between times, I guess. So he's been spending all of them with her.
Okay. Oh wow.
And oh, sorry.
No, go on, dude.
Oh, well, no, because I was going to go on to another quote. So if you have something to say on that one.
It was just a general comment about, like, when you're writing down those little kind of phrases and nuances, that's the stuff. I think that's a big reason of why we keep listening. Even like when the calls are not quite as eventful, because they can't always be all. I think some people listen and they want a rod rage every 10 seconds, but you can't have that. So even though some of the calls might not be as eventful or highly charged, you're always listening out for that one-liner that's just going to make you piss. Like, there was some in the latest ones where there is no Jamie Boutte. I was like...
Oh, I didn't get a boner.
Yeah, no, I didn't get a boner. Oh my God, I was pissing myself when I heard that.
well, the next bit I wrote down from Sheffrey, and I didn't get much actually written, but there's a bit where, obviously, because he's raging at us, so of course, you know what Lorne's going to do when he's really angry at his partner. He's going to propose, and he goes, "Will you marry me?" Yeah. And she goes, "No," and he goes, "You better be saying yes pretty soon." Like, that's the way to change her mind. Start threatening her.
How romantic.
Yeah. Can you imagine like taking someone out to a nice dinner on like a boardwalk overlooking the water? You've had a nice meal. You get down on one knee. You open up the dinner ring you've bought her, and you say, "Will you marry me?" She goes, "No." And you stand up and you grab her by the collar and you go, "You better be saying yes pretty soon."
Oh, well, to be fair, he's probably learned that's the only way he's going to get someone to say yes, isn't it? But how many times has Lorne been fake engaged?
Oh, too many.
I don't think there was a fake engagement with Ramona, so I think it was Winnie.
Yeah, but he just starts calling them his wife, though, doesn't he? They don't really get a choice. It's like a
slave marriages.
Have you ever watched League of Gentlemen?
Briefly.
Okay, I don't know if you know the character Papa Lazarou. He would have been cancelled now, actually, but he used to turn up and say, "You're my wife now." Like if they bought some pegs off him, and that's a bit like Lorne. But yeah, he's been fake married to Winnie.
No, fake engaged.
Fake engaged to Winnie. Anyone else?
Well, yeah, the latest one. Well, no, he did. Amanda James. Hello, Amanda James. Has just said that he asked Ramona to marry him, but I don't think there was like a fake official. Because there seems to be, he referred to Amy Jamie as his fiance, and Winnie. So he's been at least fake engaged twice with 2 different rings. And he bought one for. Did he buy one? He bought one for Casey, didn't he?
I'm sure he bought one for Casey or Jamie. Amy.
Casey number 1. Is that confirmation, Amanda James, that he was engaged to Casey number 1? So that's at least 3. 3, yeah. That Nirvana Junkie 19 has just said 3. So he wore a wedding ring. If that doesn't prove anything, nothing.
I wonder if he wore his wedding ring while he approached women in Walmart to make him seem safer.
Yeah, Lorne Legstrong has just said it doesn't take much to qualify as Lorne's fiance. Basically, just speaking to him, basically.
Oh, those poor girls at Walmart don't know they're his fiance yet.
Have you heard about that scammer he sent a poem to?
Yeah, that's on that list.
Oh, is it? I've not read it all. Oh,
I see.
I fucking spoiled it there.
You
Sorry,
have.
dude.
Yeah.
Have you got a link to the
To Patrick
To the-
reading it.
to the actual of a word, like a written?
No.
Could anybody, because me and Adam are a bunch of unprepared lazy bastards, can anyone in the chat potentially either post us the words to Lorne's poem written to the scammer, or at least a link to the actual written words, rather than, somebody like Patrick speaking. Because that's... Oh, dude.
Has someone
you
written
must
it down?
have found that amusing when you heard
yeah.
about it. Especially
Yeah,
with your
obviously.
kind of background in scam baiting.
Yeah.
I mean, you never wrote a poem to any of your kind of...
I rapped with a Instagram scammer once, but I don't know if that counts.
No, I don't think so.
Right, no, I never wrote any poems to them, though.
Have you got any more quotes from the Jeffrey calls?
Oh, I've just got, because I said I had to kind of skim through it. And of course, the rage about the handling the sausage, his Italian sausage. He said you handled it well when he's getting angry about her making sausage. And I believe this is a webcam cooking class she's gone to. But yeah, apparently he gets very upset because he showed her how to make Italian sausage.
Yeah, it's. Do you know, like, we're speaking about these storylines and the crazy happenings that went on, and you're thinking, at no point does he take a step back and go, "Hang on a minute, this is all a bit silly, isn't it?" There's just like no.
Yeah.
He can't step outside of it for a second, can it? And despite everything he's been through as well.
I think Winnie conditioned him to an extent that he just accepts all sorts of shit now. Because, like, I mean, whatever you make of Ember or whatever, like, that character was just made him say the funniest shit.
Well, one of my funniest kind of probably the most I've ever laughed at a Lorne situation is that Rhoda's funeral where they made him sing that song. He's like, chicken wing, he's going, chicken wings, chicken wings.
Chicken wing,
That
hot
is
dog,
so funny because it's the whole scenario of this fake funeral for a fake person, and Lorne's going, I love you, Rhoda, and then they make him sing that ridiculous song. It's funny on so many levels.
Yeah.
And we're talking about something from fucking 5 years ago as well.
Well, I can't even remember which call it is. It's one of the top ones if you just type Winnie Lorne Dan into YouTube. But the call where Winnie's basically talk. I think I've mentioned this recently, but that's great as well. Tommy Gunn's just said tickle tickle with another guy is one of the funniest lines in Lorneography. But my favorite is when she says she's like molested Dan or something, basically sucked him off while he was asleep, and Lorne's quite upset about that, and then she goes, I just jacked him off a little bit, baby, and he's like, you fucking what? And she goes, with my mouth, and he's like, what? And she just goes, it's the only way he likes to come, and his response is, oh, and it's so important for you to get his cum in your mouth. That to me, I don't know. I've got a very dirty sense of humour, but that to me will.
I'm gonna have to listen. So, right, you'll have to send me a link later.
I'll have to find it later, and but it's like just those words. Like, oh, and imagine having to say to your girlfriend about another man. Oh, and it's so important for you to get his cum in your mouth, is it? Like, what the fuck? What world are you living in?
So we fucked her in the ass.
In the ass, yeah. Well, that's that fucking Ramona stuff. And what is quite interesting about that is him and Ramona never did any sexual stuff on the phone, did
Not
they?
that
But
we're aware of.
he was quite willing to believe that she was like taking it up the arse from the doctor.
It's just the way like he almost sings when he's talking. So he fucked her in the ass.
Yes. And he does it again, and it's a really crude phrase, so I apologise, but he goes, oh, so she, because they tell her that he took it out and put it in her mouth, and he goes, so she
Ain't
sucked
that
on her
pretty?
own shit. Ain't that pretty?
I forgot about that. Oh, yeah. So she sucked her own shit. Ain't that pretty?
That pretty. Like he's got one over on her now. well, my girlfriend may have been fucked in the ass by another man, but at least she sucked him off afterwards.
Oh my god. Oh, it's too much. Oh, this is why you can't feel sorry for him, because it's like these scenarios are so ludicrous. You thinking, I think even if like Jesus Christ was to come down, he'd be pissing himself laughing. He'd be like, actually, we.
I think if Lorne's proved anything, it's that there is no Jesus.
Well, it's him. Oh no, I'm gonna get struck down. But I can't really grasp it, really. Anyway, before I start babbling on shit as usual, excuse me. March, videos start to appear on Blue Boy's channel of Lorne dancing like a 12-year-old ball and a sugar rush.
12-year-old boy having a sugar rush at a bar mitzvah.
Yeah.
At his bar mitzvah.
Oh, we've got to talk about Lorne's dancing. Do you not think it looks like an alien who's never heard Earth music trying to figure out human dancing? It just looks otherworldly.
No, to me, what I see when I see him dancing is like a boy in his sort of smart little suit and bow tie at a disco, like a 12-year-old kid that has no idea about dancing or rhythm. Definitely a 12-year-old white kid. No offense, white people, but we're not very as good dancers. Oh wait, I'm gonna get in trouble anyway. But yeah, no, definitely, like a very bad dancer doesn't know how to dance. Doesn't seem to dance in time to the music. He's certainly, I certainly can't see him popping and locking.
Lorne Legstrong has just put it perfectly. He said, a commenter said it looks like a GTA NPC dancing, like somebody in the Malibu Club. You know, when you used to go into Malibu Club and these people with their arms in the air doing these bizarre dances? That's what it looks like.
You can do that. Yeah, no, it doesn't. Like if you go to the Cayo Perico Island or to the nightclub underneath the casino, now you can see those people.
Very succinct comparison, that. But yeah, I remember it's almost like scary watching Lorne dance. I don't enjoy it or find it funny. I'm like, there's something not quite right about that. It's very strange.
Anytime I actually see him, I feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like seeing him on video. He just makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm glad it's not just me. I'm like, it's kind of the stuff of nightmares. They can make a horror film about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lorne, but we're just speaking the truth, dude.
He would scare most horror film antagonists.
Yeah, he'd fucking drive Stephen King crazy, that guy, you know. Okay, Blue Boy also uploads Lorne showing off his oral skills.
Oh, God, no. Yeah, if you want something to make you feel uncomfortable, go and watch that video. It's called something like Reptile Boy or something. But yeah, Lorne, it's basically Lorne, I think, trying to show how he would lick a woman out. And it's quite unpleasant.
Shins just said, his dancing is like his penis. Something is just not quite right about it. Yeah, it is a bizarre thing. But do you know what struck me as well about his dancing? Is that how he's always like stays positive. Like when you see him, he's having a good time and he's smiling. It's like if I had his backstory, there'd never be a smile on my face ever again.
But that's because he thinks he's sending these to his hot young girlfriend.
Well, there is that. Kind of
So, yeah, like he lives in a fantasy world that he thinks is reality. Like his reality is not somewhere that anyone else lives.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
I mean, like that. It's in the title of his YouTube videos, "The Lorne Reality Show." It's so ironic because he lives so far from reality.
Do you remember when me and you did that video? Was it called Lorne Armstrong Entrepreneur? And where
Is
he
that the
released that,
GoDaddy?
yeah, the website, and it just had like Lorne Armstrong Reality and a picture of him drinking on it. And he didn't look particularly pleasant in that photo. He was like looked pretty angry. Like you're not doing a good job of marketing here, dude.
Wow. I don't know. I've seen some of the pictures on Blue Boy's pictures on his videos recently have not been a pleasure to mine eyes.
Not been very flattering, really,
No.
to say the least. Again, Blue Boy provides with more crazy content as he releases a 9-part series with all the paperwork from Lorne's RSO treatment class. Yes.
Oh, yeah. See, that was great. That was the build-up before the psyche eval, and that's where my sort of kind of I realised there's no help in this guy.
Yeah, I was gonna cover that, but I kind of chickened out because of my moral dilemma about potentially stealing things from him. I don't really care anymore, to be honest. But Amanda, James, and Tiffany were going to do it on their channel. I can't remember whether they did a video or not on it, but we're certainly going to be finishing the cycle. But yeah, that did I have a look at that? No, I tell you what, I lie. I did have a look at that. The treatment document, and there was some crackers in there. There was like, what was one of it said now? That there was a letter that Lorne had to write a letter. There is still a lot of assignments that I haven't got around to uploading yet. Brilliant.
Awesome.
There was a letter. Lorne had to write a letter to Lorne from Kayla. I forgot that right? Or was... Hang on a minute.
Yeah. Didn't he have to write it from the victim's perspective or something?
Yeah, and it was like it started off predictably, Lorne, as him. I'm sure you're a good guy. I didn't see what you went through
to do it. I bet you just hadn't had any mac and cheese.
Yeah. Oh my! It was just you reading it, and I don't know why we're gobsmacked. Really, I think that his excuses are so outlandish. No matter how many times we hear them, it always surprises us because our brains can't compute it.
But you know what? This is something else that in these recent calls that have made me really fucking despise this motherfucker is that, like, whenever he's asked, when he's put on the spot of like a clear question and there's no backing out of it, he just goes silent. It's like his brain needs so much time to think up another fucking lie. And that's why I'm just kind of done with having any sort of ever trying to see anything from his perspective. You know, I guess it's human nature to try and look at everything from every possible angle, but he's just... You
really don't like him, do you?
I've honestly never come across anyone so irredeemable in my life, in real life. Like he's like a cartoon character, but worse. And most cartoon characters at least have something redeemable about them. Like, and you can't, there's nothing else. I don't know, maybe I've just been lucky with the people I've met throughout my life, but I've just never met anyone who I just think...
You've met Lorne?
No, I've not met him, but I've never met anyone before. I've never heard of anyone before that I just thought, well, yeah, maybe. Like, it just frustrates me and yet I still listen to the content, but at the same time I get frustrated because somewhere in there, like by this point, the fact he hasn't gone, do you know what? I did a really shitty thing. It's time to own up to it. It's time to stop speaking to these people, get on with my life, get a good job. And all the other people from TCAP basically disappeared off the radar. They went on and I don't know if they made something of their lives, but they went on and
some people have.
Yeah. And that's but this motherfucker just can't do it. And it's this combination of ego and stupidity, but there's no, I don't know, it's very, I taught kids in Spain in my first like year and a half out there, and I taught like 11, 12, 13-year-olds.
That explains a lot.
No, and some of them were little shits, but all of them, even at that age, were better people than this arsehole. So I just don't understand how a man who's an adult man that isn't on any sort of learning difficulty spectrum
that we're aware of.
But we're not. We've had enough time to analyze and assess it. It's time's up. It's time to fucking say, right, enough's enough.
Stop stealing oxygen, dude.
Stop stealing oxygen. You know, just do the world a favor and off yourself. So
harsh words there from Adam. Very harsh. But I think most people will agree with you. Slothcat starts animating some of the best moments in Lornography. Yeah, I think he was
here earlier, so I don't know if he's still here. But he helped me with some animations as well for my channel. So
that's right. Yeah. What was the first one that he did that I saw? It wasn't the Rhoda's funeral one. It was something else.
They're fucking brilliant, though.
It might have been Rhoda's funeral, you know. But if you can imagine, right, have a think about everybody in the chat, right? You have I'm pretty sure 99% of you will have actually listened to that call before you saw the footage. So it'd have still been great to see it, but imagine if you'd never heard that footage before and you saw that animation for the first time. Because that whole scenario is real in my mind, because the first time I saw it is that animation. So when I'm imagining it, that's what I see. I see the cartoon world, but it's like Lorne's reality is so superficial and stupid. It is like a cartoon. It's so two-dimensional. So it's kind of so appropriate. It kind of fits in with how fickle his world is.
And the animations are just so great. Like Winnie as like that coked out crackhead, and Lorne just like with his fucked up teeth and his cigarette constantly. And when his face turns red when he's raging, that's brilliant.
Oh, Slothcat is here. Hello. The first was Weird Vision Kayla song. That's right. That Kayla song. Was it? Kayla, you sound so sweet. That was brilliant. Oh, now we're getting onto the meat of the bone. So this is the next part in Adam's timeline, and I love the way that you've worded this. Kennedy debacle. Wes Most does a 3-part series on Kennedy McNabb, for which obvious reasons I'm featured in. Featured in? That's fucking...
I'm only in one part. The worst part.
I fucking love this thing, mate. Although I'll never quite forgive you for ousting Kennedy from the community, because when she used to produce content, Tiffany would like message me and go, Kennedy's streaming. I'd like drop everything, leave work, get a bottle of cider. It was fucking gold. I used to love it. So I'll never quite get over that. But do you want to take us through that amusing...
Not really, not again.
Oh, you fucking brought it up, dude.
I just mentioned it as one of the things that happened in the year.
Don't you... Listen, I'll make up my own version of events if you don't.
Well, most people are aware of what happened, but basically Kennedy and I had a very small, very quick tryst over 2 days in 2020, and then at the end of 2021 she went to Wes claiming that it had been non-consensual, which was clearly it was, because she sent him all the text messages between us which showed that it was. And then Wes made a big series about her, and I sent her a long message saying, like, because I thought we were mates, but clearly she was more after chasing the sweet YouTube clout.
That was a really, really strange scenario. And I was, like, almost friendly with Kennedy for a while. You know, we used to chat. She used to, like, really bug me to come on streams and stuff. But you know, she seemed like a harmless kind of enthusiast. Is probably the nicest way I'd like to put her across. But obviously, what she did to you painted her in a really different light, which was kind of. I mean, we can laugh about it now because no harm was done. I mean, I say no harm was done. Probably wasn't pleasant for you initially, was it, when you found out about it?
I had to kind of keep it under wraps for a while because Wes said he was going to speak to her, then he didn't. And eventually I was like, look, it's actually causing me some anxiety, so let me confront her. And then I did, and I sent her quite a long message and just saying, like, why are you trying to make this into something it wasn't? It was all consensual and two-sided. And she even said in the reply, yes, it was consensual. And here's what really gets me, and shows how two-faced she was, is even after she'd sent this, like, pictures, well, one picture, of course, of at least my face wasn't in it, but you know what I mean. And she'd sent these text messages to Wes, and even after she'd done that, she came into one of my streams on my IREX Scammers channel and started saying she could help me because I was having technical issues. And she messaged me saying, yeah, I can help you with this sort of thing, still trying to be matey with me. And then there was also there was a stream I'd been on where she'd come in, be like, hey, Adam, and making it clear that her and I had spoken offline. And so I really don't know what she was playing at, like what she thought the outcome would be of making that public. I would far rather it had kept private, and then Kennedy would still have a channel, and I wouldn't have had to aired lots of sort of personal dirty laundry that I wasn't particularly comfortable in doing so.
Yeah, it was just really strange because it kind of shows a level of naivety akin to Lorne's, really, because it's like exactly what you just said. What did you think was going to happen? People were going to fall for a bullshit. You had like quite clear evidence that what she was saying was a lie. It wasn't difficult to uncover. And it's like, you know, in a community that's kind of mocking this sex offender, to come out and accuse you of that when potentially you had quite a lot to lose, because if you were still doing your scam baiting regularly and people fell for it, you'd have been fucked.
Yeah, but I think because, you know, obviously I've been through a lot after my mum had died and everything. I hadn't really, well, still for a long time, I hadn't streamed. And I think she figured I was never coming back, or I was. And this is what I don't understand, because then I did come back and she tried to buddy up with me straight away because the Wes thing hadn't gone anywhere. But surely if you'd done that to someone knowingly, you wouldn't then try and like keep sending the messages, would you? It's very odd behavior. But I don't really know. I mean, she was very much like someone said in one of the comments. I'm not sure if it was on Wes's video or Clobber's video, but they said like, this whole community is about making fun of a guy that did something horrible and then tried to play the victim, and that's exactly what you've just done.
Crazy.
Well, what she's just done. And it's you can make a comparison. I don't think she's as stupid as Lorne, but I think I know Shin's got some theories as well, and perhaps there was more to it that we don't know about. But, you know, perhaps her husband did see the messages or something like that. But I honestly think the main fucking motivation, and this is what makes it all so sad, is she thought she'd get some popularity and attention.
Yeah, it's but like what, 10 extra subscribers? You know,
Well,
you know, this corner of the internet, we're not making loads of money here, despite what Lorne thinks.
Tommy Gunn, Wes has got a 3-part series on his channel, on Wes Most's channel, called The Kennedy Chronicles, and you can get all up to speed there. But I don't think she was ever living in like a fully real world, though. I mean, she thought that like she was a. Well, didn't she refer to herself once as a? What was it? Not a celebrity, but like
some kind of content creator, some kind of
yeah, like she might get recognised going out of her house.
Do you remember when she was talking about selling merch?
Yeah,
she didn't have 100 subscribers, as I understand it.
Yeah, no, I think 100 was about where she got up to, but yeah, that was quite an uncomfortable time in the year. I mean, but you know, you and I ended up talking again because of it, and it got me out of my shell a bit, even if it was to talk about a subject I didn't particularly want to talk about.
Well, yeah, because we didn't speak for a while, did we? We stopped speaking not long after your mum sadly passed away. And then my father sadly passed away, and then we kind of spoke again and started making some videos, and then all this stuff went down. In the last 12 months, it's been, there's been so much going on.
Yeah.
But I actually tried messaging Kennedy, because she was still on my...
Trying to have a go yourself.
Well, I thought if Adam can get somewhere, why can't I? Well, she's fair game, fucking hell.
Yeah.
No, I messaged her and said, listen, it was pretty stupid, but I thought, well, why not? I just said, like, do you want to come and have a chat about it? Maybe you can kind of set the record straight, or... I mean, there was no chance she was going to...
No. But the trouble is she's not got a leg to stand on, because like I've got all because of what she did. I then made sure I went back and screenshot everything. I mean, because she sent me a lot more than I sent her. She did. Well, what I found was curious, and sorry to be a bit personal, but I guess it doesn't really matter after what she tried to do.
Dude, I think I can safely say for everybody, be as personal as you like. We want the full details.
Well, she sent me quite a few photos, and a couple of them included her face and her body.
A couple of them included her face. Like nothing else mattered in the photographs. Unfortunately, her full face was in some of them.
Yeah, I did prefer the ones without her face in them, to be honest. But curiously, I'd noticed in our conversations the two pictures she had sent of herself nude with her face in had disappeared, had been deleted. But she'd left the others that had her tattoo on it and stuff. So if I ever needed to verify, which thankfully I didn't and wouldn't because everyone believed me, but I just showed them all the stuff she sent me. So I don't know, man. It was unpleasant, but kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, luckily you've come out of it unscathed, and I think it's because she was such a kind of. This is something. Hang on a minute. We won't carry on too much, but how can you have unconsensual online liaisons?
Yeah,
How does that work? All you had to do was press end call.
Well, yeah, but that's, and Wes is here, Haywards, but do you see when she says to Wes, she basically says in her interview with him, she basically goes, oh, well, he was drunk and horny, so I had to get him off, and then I'll berate him in the morning for it. That's basically what you can condense down what she says.
The worst case of the worst story of fake fucking sexual abuse ever. He got me on Skype and I couldn't say no. It's I couldn't say fucking no. Wow.
Blue Boy and Wes seem to know a lot more about her content than I did. Apparently,
well, of course.
She had videos.
Did you see that? What was it what do you call it when people put a montage that Wes put out of all her best moments? Oh my god, it's gold.
the Kennedy cringe compilation. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was. Oh, it was brilliant. Do you remember that bit when she came into one of our Lorne streams? It's hey, it just kind of wrecked the whole thing. It's hi Kennedy, hey everybody. Oh my god. It was just, she just wrecked the whole thing. It's basically 20 seconds. Oh dear. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, let's move on. She could have got me or turned her phone off. The thing is, Amanda, she was well into it, so.
All right. We don't need to know the details, you dirty bastard.
Right. Yeah. Sorry.
Right, April, all Adams wrote is Rod call.
That's all we need to talk about for April, because that's got to be one of my highlights of the year. And I guess
sorry, I need to interrupt you. Sorry, Adam. Shin was the fucking one who basically stitched me up in that Lorne stream and got Kennedy in, and I'm like, oh, cheers, dude. Because he just came out with it. Oh, can we invite? I think Kennedy wants to come in. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah. And
she was like, hey, everyone. And you're like, oh, it's Kennedy.
Oh, that's right. Kennedy was streaming from a Walmart because one of us said like, "There's a lot of bad interference on your line, Kenny." She's like, "Yeah, I'm out shopping." It's like, oh my god.
But in fact, I actually heard that bit quite recently, and then later on, she talks about she's drinking a pina colada or something, and it's like, well, hang on, you've just been to Walmart in your car, and then she's claiming to be drunk. I think she's a compulsive liar as well. She obviously was a compulsive liar.
Oh, brilliant. Anyway, sorry about that. I couldn't let Shim off the hook there. Yeah, the Rod call, which is... It's great, isn't it? I think it's had like 50,000 views or something.
I'm not surprised. It should be on fucking Netflix.
I wonder if Slothcat's ever going to do an animation on that, because that would be...
The whole Rod call animated
I think that's
by
too much
Slothcat.
for anybody.
Yeah, but Netflix might pay for that.
Well, I mean, they're pumping out shit at the minute with disgruntled royals, so why not? Let's not get into that. Yeah, that Rod call. I think, as we might have already mentioned, the rage bit is just remarkable. Do you know what's amazing though? How many times does he hang up in that call?
Oh, like at least 8. I would, if I had to guess, I'd say 12 times.
And he answers the phone every time. Why bother hanging up?
Yeah. Is that in the what? Like the robot just starts going, "Oh, did you lose connection?" It's like, fucking
you hung up.
Yeah, I hung up. And like every time, it's like, "Oh, did you lose connection?" Oh, I fucking hung up, Jamie.
Do you know what? Do you know what? One of the funniest bits is in that for me in that call. Ironically, it's Lorne doesn't even speak. So the robot's talking, and Lorne says, Lorne says, who were you texting? Rod. And then it just goes, call just goes. He doesn't have to say anything. It's just hilarious because he just hangs up without saying anything.
But there's so much good, like even in that whole call, just because I find it funny, just because his name is Rod. So he says things, and like obviously, again, I've got a very juvenile sense of humor. So Rod being slang term for a cock, as well, and he starts going like, "You've been distracted by fucking Rod." I just find that funny. I've actually written down quite a few quotes from the Rod call.
You have.
I have.
Have you ever looked at the transcript of the call?
No.
Never have I. I'm just saying it'd be funny.
But when he's first talking about his description of Rod is, "That's the motherfucking cocksucker who wants to fuck you and pay for it." And he adds the pay for it bit like he's bad. Like it'd be better if his missus just fucked him for free.
Talking about it makes me want to listen to it.
Yeah. Now I want to know if you've seen a picture of his cock yet. Also the way he says it, like yet is definitive. Like it's gonna happen. Has it happened yet? Especially because that's it. He goes, "Have you been talking to him on the phone or something?" He just asks, "Oh, have you been emailing him?" And she's like, "No." It's like, "Have you seen a picture of his cock yet?"
Yeah, but aren't these people supposed to be like fellow adult actors and actresses and stuff?
No, because Rod is a virgin, which is actually a quote I've got later, remember. But Rod wants to pay her to take his virginity, and they're going to make a fucking fuck movie. Because that's what he says to Will when he's still really angry. And he goes, "This fucking fuck movie!"
Fuck movie.
Yeah.
But just if he was to write down all the crazy scenarios that he'd been involved with, in these in these relationships, let's see, Rhoda choked on a fucking nut or whatever it was and died. There was a crazy funeral with the chicken
Death
song.
Brownie.
Yeah, I dated a porn star who then spoke like a robot, and then she had a ventilator that sounded like Darth Vader. It's like, well, can you imagine him explaining that to a psychiatrist? Like, "He's crazy, boys. Take it away." It was the butterfly, I tell you, the butterfly.
Well, I've got another quote here as well that was more. This is more just taking the piss out of the way he speaks. So he's angry as well. And he goes, I'm not the one that didn't want to talk to me last night, so you can talk to the same other person."
I'm not the one that didn't want to talk to.
So implying that he would happily talk to himself, but he's angry because she wanted to talk to someone else. It's just so weird, this sort of switch between her
The first and the
perspective
third person as well.
Well, not because it's also from her perspective, then his perspective, isn't it? So it's fucking like, I'm not like, who would write like this man has written 2 books and he comes out with sentences like, "I'm not the one that didn't want to talk to me last night, so you can talk to the same other person." Fuck it out.
Oh wow. Yeah, that is a glorious piece of pornography. There's no doubt about it.
Again, when he's talking to Will as well, and he says, like, after he talks about the fucking fuck movie, and Will like says to him like, oh right, and he goes, "Yeah, that's what the fucking plan is. That's what she's been fucking planning." I just love that sentence. You're not feeling that one?
I don't remember that. You know what? I don't think this is going to really shock you. I don't think I've listened to the whole thing in one go. I think I've like gone in and skipped to various bits and gone on. But I always listen to Lorne when I'm naked. Isn't that weird? Whenever I'm in the shower, I always have to put Lorne a prank Lorne call on. Well, they're all prank Lorne calls.
Ejaculate these days, isn't it?
Well, it's getting harder and harder as I get older. So. But yeah, it's weird. That's sort of in honour of Lorne's nakedness. I get let naked and listen to Lorne calls.
do you give your dogs a biscuit while you're naked? Start doing baby talk with them. "Oh, you goofy baby, have a biscuit. What's that? Oh, it's just my chode."
Amanda James has just said that's weird. I think you're right.
You probably shouldn't have told anyone that.
No, that I listen to Lorne only when I'm naked. Yeah, it's not really.
Especially if you put a call on at work. "Sorry guys, just got to strip down."
Oh, did I fucking tell you about that time when I was in the gym at work and I was listening to a Lorne call in the gym, and we have a Bluetooth stereo, and I left the gym. Because I don't like sharing it with somebody else because it pisses me off. So I left when someone else went in, and then I went into the changing room, which is next door, and turned my phone on, turned the rest of the Lorne call on, and I'm like listening to it, and like, why is no sound coming out of it? And I couldn't figure it out for about 10 seconds. Like, oh shit, it's still connected to the stereo in the gym. So the fucking it was actually the rod call as well. The rod call was going on in the gym while they just walked in. It's like, what must they be fucking thinking?
Yeah, but they didn't say anything to you though.
Well, I did. One of them I knew who I've been avoiding, and I don't know who the other person was. I'll probably get fired tomorrow. Lorne writes a poem in his Lone Scammers. We've already it to his Lone Scammers. Has anybody got?
Yes, it was ages back, and I think it was Mama Gwen said they had the transcript.
Say that again, dude.
Who was the predator with the speech impediment? I've gone all. What's it?
Oh, fucking hell! Who was that? I'm gonna get arrested. That guy.
Yeah.
Arrested. What was that guy's name?
Fuck. I can't remember. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Gorilla Face Gwen.
Ah, brilliant. Do you want to read it out, Adam?
Oh, sure.
I couldn't ever match your eloquence.
Yeah, it's true. It took some time to get this loan through, with the hassle along the way and the things we had to do. It was a complete pain in the ass, for this there is no doubt. I stressed so much along the way, I want to pull my hair out. But you remained committed and helped me calm my fears. For this I will do business with the company again in only a couple of years. If your higher-ups will pay attention to this letter, they will see this customer is true. For the reason they will keep me as a customer is because of the dedication from you.
Oh,
Imagine
my
sending that
God.
to someone that's just scammed you out of thousands of pounds.
Not only did they
Thanks for
get his money, they get a poem as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, what a nice guy. Everyone's laughing at him. They don't even know he's a fucking social degenerate, and they're laughing at the spastic. Sorry.
You know, he could be the only person in human history who sent a poem to a scammer. Along them, like there'll be like dating scammers that people have sent all sorts to, but under those kind of conditions, man, that's a world's first.
He's just something else, and not in a good way.
1 in a million.
Yeah. What? Well, 1 in 7 billion.
Oh, so you're telling me there's a chance? No, that lone poem is pretty remarkable, really. But pulling his hair out kind of stuck in mind. What hair are you pulling out, Lorne?
Oh yeah, his pubes.
Oh dear. Fucking. I might do a stream just analysing that poem. What did he think? What did he think was going to happen when was he trying to get off with this? Was it?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was a female that stole the money from him, but it was probably some dude in a cafe in Nigeria. So
Why didn't he send another poem after he got scammed? It's like, I've sent your file to the police. You know, I hope one day we'll.
Within a year, you'll all be arrested.
We'll have to make up a poem that Lorne had sent after he realised he'd been scammed. It's like, you don't know how to say no. I know how you feel. Right, next we've got Socks visits Lorne, because we had a conversation about that, didn't we?
We did.
Which was we got some kind of fruitful information there about how deep his delusions are, because we heard him talk about some of it was difficult to hear because of the recording, but he was talking about, didn't he still think Winnie was real at that point?
Well, he still does in the case he calls now. He sometimes still he knows that Winnie and Ember and I think Rhoda were the same person, but I don't know. I think sometimes in his mind it's just easier for him not to believe it, so he just keeps on believing it. I think he still thinks all of them were pretty much real. He still sometimes refers to Jamie Amy as being real, even though he's constantly told by Casey that she was Will.
He was told that the first person that played Amy, which I think was it that wine lover person, they played the first part of Jamie Amy, and then after that it was false. So not only can he not believe that he can't apply logic to the catfishes overall, he thinks part of them were real and part of them weren't. He's still...
I still think he thinks of them as relationships, but then I think he thinks of phone sex as real sex to him.
I think he does, yeah. I mean, it's in his language when he talks about it. We had sex that night, or some shit like that. No, he didn't. Yeah. I believe it was a loan for about 6,000 that he was going to pledge to another scammer. And I think the last bit that we've got in June, so it's half of the year that you wrote down, is the robot Lorne is dating has got pregnant. It could be MJ's fiance, it could be fucking Rod's baby.
Yeah. But the call, believe the call, which one was it, is not released until July. So that'll have to be for part 2 of our historically TCAP in reviews. It's just Lorne in review. But yeah.
Well, there's been bits of other stuff. mainly your escapades with Kennedy. That was pretty much it. I mean,
Oh wow, Blue Boys just said Lorne's new friend's going to be at the. When is the 10-mile yard sale?
helping out if someone can try and get an interview from her.
So
Yeah.
is she fucking like living with him now?
I think they only stayed for a few days.
Right.
But that's, we spoke about, I mean, you were listening to the stream on Saturday,
Yeah, I
weren't
was.
you? Shin's Manhole is here. It's always good to see them. Hello. Yeah, so it was just a few days, but that was enough to freak everybody out. And we can
Well,
talk
yeah.
about that in the second half, can't we?
Well, that we'll probably have to put aside about 3 hours for the second half of the year because there's a whole lot more to be opened up.
Oh yes, lots of stuff that might not necessarily even involve Lorne specifically. But yeah, so we're done. Thanks for putting.
Yeah,
that
well,
little
no,
list
I
together,
wasn't
dude.
the only person in the community to have drama, so there might be some more talk.
and I've got quite a bit to say about that from various
Oh,
angles. So
Yeah, well, we'll have to make sure we've got a good bit of space for the next one because that was good timing though.
yeah, it was. So cheers for putting that list together, dude.
No worries.
It's been quite a bit of fun, and we've come up with a new series that we're not going to do, which is in defence of.
We should do it, but
I
let's
think we
aim
should.
to start it in the new year so that we're not putting too much pressure on ourselves.
Yeah, no, and we should do. You know what we should do for the first one, John Kennelly.
Yeah,
Because you mentioned that, because it's such a funny moment. We could and there's two parts to it. There's this first bit, and then the bit when he turns up at the restaurant. When he's like, "I've been in television for 20." Yeah, we've got loads to go off there. So anyway, I hope everybody has enjoyed this little Christmas treat. I've had a lot of fun. Have you, Adam?
Yeah, I've had a great time. Thanks for having me.
It's been a pleasure. So everybody, I'm not sure when we'll be doing the next stream because obviously it's like Christmas and shit. So schedules are all over the place and whatnot. So
we'll have to try and get the second part in before the end of the year.
Definitely, yeah, we'll definitely do that. But we've got we were doing Lorne's site report. We're only on part 2. Oh god, we've got. Isn't it amazing how much content this guy spawns?
Yeah,
It's just unbelievable. Hours and hours and hours. Like if I'd have devoted energy that I've put into Lorne streams into something actually more productive, I could be a millionaire.
But you always have this moral dilemma with
It's
yourself.
not
too
moral
late now.
though, is it? It's kind of no. It is too late for me. You're right.
It's too late. You've dug your.
I've wasted my life. It's done. Yeah,
it's done. It's a lawn-shaped hole.
yeah. And on that note, we will leave it. So everybody in the chat, thank you very much. There's been quite a lot of people. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Just leave any comments that you've got about anything we've talked about. And yeah, that's it. So guys, if I don't speak to you before, I hope everybody has a brilliant Christmas. Please look after yourselves.